When I was a little girl, I made a promise to my mother that would set off a chain reaction in my life path. After all, she, like 30% of other cancer survivors, had just developed lymphedema as a result of her cancer treatment. Now, lymphedema is a lifelong and incurable disease of the lymphatic system. This is a key part of our immune system and our ability to manage our swelling. We can think of the lymphatic system a bit like a straw that's filled with water. When a cancer patient goes in for treatment, say a surgery to remove lymph nodes with cancer in them, it's almost like cutting that straw in half. One part of the lymphatic system begins to leak out fluid, while the other part struggles to pick it back up on the other side. This results in lifelong swelling of the arm and a decreased ability to transport our immune cells to fight infection or other threats. Now, as I saw my mother's quality of life change with her lymphedema, I made a promise. I said, "Mom, I'm going to cure you one day." And as a teenager, I began to work on this promise, but I noticed every year or so, my mom would develop a serious skin infection and even a skin cancer at the site of her lymphedema. Little did we know, these were early signs of my mother's changing immune system. Now, I tell you this story because it really sets the stage for my thesis work. It begs the question, what if lymphedema has more sinister effects beyond changing quality of life alone? Well, by mapping how often a breast cancer survivor with lymphedema is actually experiencing something, say, like a cancer reoccurrence, or seeing how long that they actually live past their diagnosis, and comparing this back to a counter-reality where these patients never developed lymphedema at all, we can calculate whether lymphedema meaningfully increases the risk of cancer reoccurrence or even death amongst breast cancer survivors. Within my own thesis work, I've started to tackle these calculations related to the immune system. For example, I've demonstrated that breast cancer-related lymphedema patients are almost 3 times as likely to develop those skin infections my mom encountered when compared to breast cancer survivors without this disease. This result now prompts me to ask 3 more important questions in my thesis about the immune system of these patients. Whether lymphedema patients are dying earlier, if they're dying earlier due to cancer reoccurrence, and if so, what factors clinicians might look for in determining their patient's risk of that recurrence. Practically speaking, my thesis work helps us to understand a potential opportunity to improve the lives of breast cancer survivors through early identification of lymphedema. It also helps to ensure that my promise is kept not only to my mother, but to all cancer patients encountering a lymphedema diagnosis after their treatment. And finally, it helps to give a voice to the 250 million patients worldwide living with lymphedema by exploring a new potential impact of this disease on the health of our population. Thank you.